Okay, we're here today to talk about Tenkara. A lot of people are mystified about Tenkara. Tenkara is an ancient Japanese form of fly fishing, and to a large extent it follows the same rules that Isaac Walton used many years ago, when he was just using a piece of cane and a piece of horsehair line tied to the end of the fly rod. It's very much the same principle, but with modern rods and modern technology. So the Tenkara rod differs from Western style fly fishing in the main, insofar as we're using a telescopic rod, which is just basically a pole, and there is no fly line and no reel. So in that respect it's very different from Western style. The advantage that Tenkara gives us is that the presentation we can achieve is vastly superior in many ways. We can get absolutely completely drag-free drift, whether we're spider fishing or wet fly or dry fly or nymphing. We can get really genuinely superb presentation, drag-free. And we can do various styles of fishing. The forms that I've already mentioned: we can wet fly, spider fishing, we can nymph, we can dry fly, we can duo, we can check nymph. All those different disciplines of fly fishing are available to us on the river. We take out the stopper and then we just pull the rod down until we can see this little piece of string. That's called a lilian. And then we're going to attach our furled leader or leader to that lilian. This is the end of the furled leader, and we just want to do a hitch knot. So there's the hitch, as it were, and we're just going to wrap that round the lilian, pull it tight, and you can see on the end of the lilian is a little stop knot, and that holds everything in place. So now the leader is actually attached. I'm just going to take the rest of this leader off the little spool, and then we want to extend the line. Now this is where you need to take a little bit of care and attention, because as you can see, the thinnest part of the rod is extremely thin and quite fragile. So hold the rod and just pull it out until you find the next joint, and then just pull it tight, feel the next joint. So you're just slowly extending the rod very carefully as you go along. Now this particular rod is one of ours. It's from Tenkara Centre UK. We're probably one of the first British companies, or British based company, to introduce Tenkara rods and Tenkara accessories to the marketplace. So this is our top of the range rod. This particular one is a 13-foot rod, but then it can be extended a further 2 foot to make it a 15-foot rod. So that's the advantage really and uniqueness of this particular product. The other thing I want to show you now is how we collapse the rod. Hold the joints and just collapse the rod at each joint at a time, and you can see that each section of the rod then goes into the butt and the lower section, and just continue until we get to the very thin sections, where again we need to just take a little bit of care. What we want to do when we get to the thinnest point, you don't want to be pushing it up here, because you're going to snap that little piece there. Go right down to the joint itself and just push, and just slowly push that rod right into the rest of the rod, and then you can just simply put the stopper back on and it's all packed away. So I've collapsed the rod now, and now I need to deal with the furled leader. So I use these little Fuji clips, which are really handy. All I'm going to do is wrap the leader around these clips, and then at the end of the leader all I need to do is just push that down at the side of the rubber O-ring, and it holds it in place. So now what I would do is attach that onto my fly vest. The fly's already on it, the tippet's on it, the furled leader's on it. All I need to do now to take advantage of the Tenkara when I'm fishing is just take it off the fly vest, unwind the leader, extend the rod, and I'm fishing. And this brings me on to what I consider to be the main reason why we would Tenkara fish, or at least the application that I use personally. We can use Tenkara equipment to fish whenever we want, in any situation, on any river, for trout and grayling primarily. However, the application that I use it for mainly is, let's say I'm using my Western style rod and I've got a team of spiders on, or I've got a team of nymphs on, and I'm fishing up or down a pool, and then suddenly there's a nice hatch starts. Under normal circumstances, what we do is have to climb out onto the bank, take off the spiders, take off that leader, put a new leader on, normally a tapered leader maybe if we're dry fly fishing, and then put a fly on and go out to position on the river again and start to dry fly. How many times does it happen when we do all that? As soon as we get back into the river, the hatch is finished and we're done and dusted. Very frustrating. But what I do now is simply put my Western style rod with the team of nymphs on the bank, go out into position, unfurl these leaders, this leader, extend the line, and extend the rod rather, and I'm Tenkara fishing dry fly style, and able to take advantage of that hatch within seconds, literally within seconds of it happening. Catch a few fish hopefully, the hatch tails off, I want to go back to my nymphs, so just collapse the rod, wind the line on, attach it back to my fishing vest, or you could just simply put it down your waders, whatever you want to do, and immediately then pick up my Western style rod and continue with my nymphs. Similarly, I may be salmon fishing because I enjoy salmon fishing as well. And again, how many times do we go down a pool and there's a lovely hatch and there's lots of trout about, but we're salmon fishing that day? Well, why not take advantage of it? Put the salmon rod out on the bank and just spend 5 or 10 minutes while that hatch is going on using the Tenkara gear and have some great fun, pull out a few trout, hatch over and done with, go back to salmon fishing. So they're the real applications that I see for this Tenkara style fishing, as just an add-on, so you can take advantage of anything that's happening on the river and fish it effectively. Of course, there will be the real fanatics that will want to Tenkara without using Western style. Well, of course you can do that, but to me you can mix both dependent upon the conditions and fish that bit of river extremely effectively by either using Western style or Tenkara, the best of both worlds. Okay, so you just saw a little film there about Tenkara. Quite difficult conditions today because you've got an upstream wind, and whereas you would normally try and keep all that fly line, or not fly line, but leader off the water, in this case we just had to anchor a little bit because of the wind. But that's really what Tenkara is all about, and you can get all the Tenkara gear. We've got a website that will be up and running, tenkaracenteruk.com, where we can do all online sales for any rods or accessories. We will be promoting the equipment at the British Fly Fair International at Stafford, the 23rd and 24th of June, and you can always come to Curly's Fly Fishery Tattle Shop anytime, or have a look at the Curly's website, www.curlysfishery.co.uk, and you can see all the products. If you've got any queries at any time, just give me a ring. My name is Mike Roden and I'm with Tenkara Centre UK. Thanks for watching.